Christian McCaffrey just crushed the 49ers' injury rumors the moment he returned to team drills. The hold-in whispers faded, the panic cooled, and San Francisco finally got its biggest weapon back. But 7 practice snaps also exposed a much bigger problem the 49ers still have not solved. Sunday afternoon at the 49ers facility in Santa Clara, and McCaffrey jogs out for team drills for the first time since August 8th, 15 days. In training camp terms, that is an eternity for a franchise player. He takes roughly 7 reps in the 11-on-11 period, a handful of handoffs, a couple of routes out of the backfield, nothing that ends up on a highlight reel, and it was still the biggest story in the Bay Area because for 2 weeks, San Francisco had been reliving a nightmare it already survived once. The team's official word was tightness, which is the kind of update that explains absolutely nothing. And if you follow this franchise, that word does not calm you down. That word makes your stomach drop. Rewind to August of 2024. Same practice fields, same vague language. McCaffrey had calf tightness in camp. Kyle Shanahan said there was no danger of him missing regular season games. Then the calf turned into Achilles tendinitis. He was scratched hours before the opener against the Jets. He had a setback in September. He landed on injured reserve twice, and he finished the year with 4 games played. 4. The reigning Offensive Player of the Year, the centerpiece of a Super Bowl offense, gone. San Francisco went 6-11. So when McCaffrey and tightness showed up in the same sentence again this month, nobody in the Bay Area was interested in being reasonable about it. Then, it got weirder. Mike Florio at Pro Football Talk floated that some people around the league didn't believe this was a soft tissue issue at all. They thought it was leverage, a hold-in, and the timeline fed the theory perfectly. Because days after Bijan Robinson and Jahmyr Gibbs reset the running back market at $22.5 million a year, McCaffrey stopped practicing. His own deal, the 2-year, $38 million extension he signed back in 2024, runs through 2027 and pays him a non-guaranteed $12.5 million this season. He turned 30 in June. Realistically, this is his last swing at a market-setting payday. You can see why the theory caught fire in Niners group chats. Shanahan shut it down from the podium, saying people make a lot of assumptions, and this was one they got wrong. Ian Rappaport went further on NFL Network, calling it actual tightness and flatly not a hold-in. But Shanahan also said something that tells you exactly how this building is thinking. His fear was never the tightness itself. His fear was McCaffrey being tough, pushing through it, and turning a 2-week nothing into a month-long something. And that is not paranoia. That is a play-by-play description of what happened in 2024. Now the part that reframes this entire story. Look at what McCaffrey did last season. 17 games, every single one of them. He carried it 311 times for 1,202 yards and 10 touchdowns, then caught 102 passes for 924 yards and 7 more scores. That's 2,126 scrimmage yards, second in the NFL, on a league-leading 413 touches. He won Comeback Player of the Year, made first-team All-Pro, and finished as a finalist for MVP at 29 years old, 1 year removed from everyone writing his body off. And one number tells the whole story. Those 102 receptions were 45 more than any other 49er, not more than any other running back on the roster, more than any receiver, any tight end, anybody. San Francisco's leading pass catcher last season was their running back. That happened because Brock Purdy missed chunks of the year. George Kittle went down, Ricky Pearsall got hurt, and Brandon Ayuk never made it back onto the field. The offense collapsed inward, and McCaffrey became the entire operation. And they still went 12-5. They still walked into Lincoln Financial Field in January and beat the defending Super Bowl champion Eagles 23-19 on their own turf. Seattle then obliterated them 41-6 in the divisional round on their way to winning Super Bowl LX. But that wild card upset in Philadelphia does not happen without number 23. So why is San Francisco handling him like glass right now? Look at the depth chart behind him. Brian Robinson Jr., the veteran they traded for last summer specifically to lighten McCaffrey's load, walked in free agency and signed with Atlanta. What's left is Isaac Guerendo, who has been injured in essentially every camp of his career. Second-year back Jordan James, who fractured a rib in a non-padded July practice, and third-round rookie Kalen Black out of Indiana. At one point this month, all four of them were unavailable on the same day, and the Niners were down to Patrick Taylor Jr., Khalil Herbert, and Sincere McCormick in the backfield. They brought Zamir White, Nyheim Hines, and Blake Watson in for workouts just to have healthy legs in the building. The receiver room is no calmer. Pearsall is out for the entire season after PCL surgery on his right knee. Ayuk is on the reserve list and effectively finished in San Francisco. Juwan Jennings left for Minnesota, so the front office imported Mike Evans on a 3-year, $42.4 million deal, added Christian Kirk, brought Deebo Samuel back, and drafted Dazon Stribling in the second round. That is an almost entirely rebuilt receiving core, trying to learn Brock Purdy's timing in the last 2 weeks of August, which means the safety valve, once again, is Christian McCaffrey. And this is where it gets uncomfortable for 49ers fans. Shanahan has now said in back-to-back off-seasons that he wants McCaffrey's workload down. He admitted last season was the worst his staff had ever been at managing it. He said he wants McCaffrey fresher and taking fewer unnecessary hits. He said basically the same thing in 2024. Ron Rivera said it in Carolina years before that. Coaches have been promising to protect Christian McCaffrey from Christian McCaffrey for the better part of a decade, and it never holds. Because when it's the fourth quarter of a one-score game, nobody takes their best player off the field. That's what makes this camp plan genuinely different. Ramp him up hard, pull him all the way back, then ramp him up again is not load management during the season. It's load management before it. The Niners are essentially admitting they can't trust themselves to rest him in October, so they're banking the rest in August. They got a second gift on the same day. George Kittle came off the physically unable to perform list 7 months after tearing his Achilles in January, and he is now on track for Week 1. Offensive coordinator Clay Kubiak said the two returns gave the practice field energy and called them Hall of Fame caliber players who raised the standard around them. Beyond the vibes, Kittle's return matters because defenses can no longer roll coverage and bodies toward McCaffrey on every snap. And remember the neighborhood these guys live in. Seattle won Super Bowl LX at Levi's Stadium in San Francisco's own building, which is about as cruel as this league gets. The Rams reached the NFC Championship game. The 49ers finished third in that division at 12-5, which tells you everything about the margin they're operating in. A Niners team with a healthy McCaffrey is a playoff team. A Niners team without him is the 2024 version that went 6-11. Now, the stakes. San Francisco has one preseason game left against the Raiders in Las Vegas on Thursday. Then the team boards a plane on September 2nd bound for Australia. Week 1 kicks off September 10th stateside, September 11th local time at the Melbourne Cricket Ground in front of roughly 100,000 people in the first regular season NFL game ever staged in Australia. The opponent is the Rams, who hung 42 points on them last November. And that's just the opening leg of a season in which the 49ers are projected to travel more than 38,100 miles, a new league record, including a home game in Mexico City in December. Long flights, scrambled sleep, a brand new receiving core, a rookie-heavy backfield, and a 30-year-old running back carrying 413 touches of mileage from last year alone. So did McCaffrey crush the injury rumors? On the evidence of Sunday, yeah, mostly. He looked fine, he sounded fine, and the people who watch him every day are not blinking. But the real test isn't a Sunday walkthrough in Santa Clara. It's Week 12. When the receivers are banged up again, the offense needs 25 touches out of him, and Shanahan has to decide whether he actually meant any of it. Because this season doesn't hinge on whether Christian McCaffrey is healthy in August. It hinges on whether he's still standing in January. So, what's your call? Do the Niners finally protect him? Or is this another 400-touch season waiting to happen? Drop your take in the comments and subscribe for daily NFL breakdowns.